cool. Hi. Wow, this is such a nice place. Nicer than my talk, I'm sure, but hey, I'm gonna do my best. So, thank you for having me today. I'm going to be talking about different things. Thank you so much for the organizers, all of you for being here. Today, we're gonna be talking about what my team at Lummi and I have been learning along the way for the last year and a half of working with the AI, products powered by AI, created products powered by AI. And so here's, the thing is that this presentation is just like long as hell. It's more of a brain dump of a lot of stuff. Usually presentations should be, short, concise, be mindful of your audience. Not this one. Yeah, it's just like I've been just working on this thing. So and just like every week you hear something new. It's like, oh well, I should add it to my presentation. And I've been just like also learning a lot of stuff. And I just like, this is a massive presentation. It's almost like 600 slides. Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to skip a lot of it. So you're going to be like, maybe I should skip this. And I'm going to be real quickly just going to the next section. And again, brain dump, it's a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff that is related, and is related about all the robots. That's what we're talking, like what I'm talking about, and also the stuff that we have been learning while working with the robots. But hey, we're gonna get a little bit philosophical. The intro is going to be about me, and then something that I've been working with, and it's just like I think it's going to be cool because it's going to make us think about these things. It's more about how powerful these things are, and also all the risks, and how they can go bad. Knowing that, I share that not just to be a doomer or say like, oh, the world is going to end. More like, hey, we're designers and we should be aware of these risks. I care about these risks because like I also see about the opportunities because say, hey, if we know these risks, then we can work on how to mitigate those risks, right? So, let's get started. A little bit about me. Just think, you might be like, who is this guy? I'm Pablo Stanley. The one on the left is the real one. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know anymore. Sometimes, like, I question that. Is this a simulation? Anyway, so in the robot version, yes, I'm also a designer. I've done UX design. I've done posters. I've done more posters. I've done illustrations. This is called, I made this some time ago. Maybe you saw like suddenly in the web, there was a lot of this stuff. That was me, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Illustration systems, also I've done workshops. That was one of my proudest moments right there. I was working with kids and I was teaching them how to prototype and I just like gave them paper and they were making paper prototypes. And they were so cute and so good. Right away, they got it. They were doing mostly just Pokemon apps, but they were pretty cool. Also, I've been doing, I've done political stuff. I worked with the Biden-Harris campaign in 2020. Also, social, politically active stuff. I done, some time ago, I was a YouTuber. I still do sometimes, but not so much. So I do video tutorials, courses. I have a newsletter. I have like 12 people subscribed. So if you want to be number 13, it's the zeitgeist. It's really hard to say, and I knew it. And whenever I say it, everybody writes it wrong, and it's like, God damn it! But I cannot change my mind, and I'm sticking to it. It's the zeitgeist, like design and zeitgeist. Okay. Also, I do design events. I have an animated series that I've been working on for years, but Hollywood has not heard about the agile design and the agile process. They work in their own timeline, but I don't know. It's there. One of these days, it's going to come out. So also, I worked on an NFT project for a while. Remember NFTs? Yeah, I'm sorry too. Also, I'm working on a printed comic that's going to come out soon. Also done web comics, community events, motivational speaking, and exhibitions, web apps, character design. You're just repeating yourself, Pablo. And obviously, butts. That's my magnum opus, you could say. I'm the proudest about this stuff. So But also recently, well, I've been working with my team and we just going deep into the robots and the AIs. What can these things do? So we've been working on AI-powered tools. One of these tools, for example, is Lummi. This part is going to sound like a commercial. It is, but also it kind of makes sense because, is this app where we have learned a lot? Well, a ton of other apps we've done, so many apps, but this one is the one we're focusing right now. So Lummi is a free gallery of stock photos. They're all generated with AI, but by humans, which means that each image is carefully curated by humans. And this is very important because if we just let it to the robots, they just make a mess and they make these weird images. I don't know if you've seen them. So we filter out all the images. If it has more than 5 fingers, it's not there. So we have, it's one of our policies. We have over 45 creators. If you want to be number 46, just let me know. From all over the place, from Turkey, from Europe, which means that we have a lot of diverse images and a lot of stuff that is different. So we also have, 3 pillars, our photos, illustrations, 3D renders. And I say renders because 3D models are coming next. And we want designers, content creators, people like you to use us, so we also put them in different tools like Figma, Canva, Webflow, all of that stuff. We also done different tools like Reframe that allows people to just allows you to, sometimes you need an image and then you find the perfect image, but it's right here and it's only this, right? And where are you going to put your buttons and all your text and all your stuff, all your crap? So, and then you're like, oh, okay, what do? Well, you just put another square or something, you figure it out, you're designers, right? But sometimes you wish there was more space there, right? Just to put all that stuff. Well, we solved that, so it's already pre-rendered. You don't have to open it and then add it somewhere else. And all of that stuff is just made with AI, and it's made in the moment. It's actually really good. So we call it Reframe. Also, another thing that AI has allowed us to do is hey, sometimes you have an image and you like it. Oh, perfect image. And then, but you need more, right? Because you need to do a campaign, you need to do your social media, you need to do all that stuff. And to do all that stuff, well, you need more images because the beast is always hungry. You have to feed the beast, and the beast needs more content. So we have shoots, which allows us to be like, hey, I really like this photo. Can you now make 100 more photos like that? And it shoots because it looks like it was made by the same photographer with the same cameras, even the same models, but just different teams. Okay, so also we have retouch. Hey, you select and you change it. Also, we have you have a style that you like, maybe your client. Sometimes clients come with an image and say hey, dude, so what do you like? Well, I have this thing. Can you make it like this? So we can allow you to do that, where it's hey, you have a reference image and then you can create more. Also, sometimes, you have the perfect image, but it's not exactly the style that you want. Also that. And yeah, so anyway, our goal is just to have really cool images that you can use and hopefully also that feel natural. And sometimes just for prototypes, just for testing first before you actually grab a camera and do it yourself. So yeah, that's the end of the commercial. But I think that it's important to talk about this because just so you know, I do make apps with the little robot. So just so you know that honestly, we have been learning a lot while building these tools. And with Lummi, we're learning different things. And we noticed one thing is that with AI, they're becoming more and more powerful. Really, a year ago, the images were crap. And also the results, we were trying to do a design tool that allows you we were like, oh, dude, these things are going to be our next collaborators as designers. We can just build the perfect AI robot that allows you to just design more stuff. We were totally mistaken. These things are not good. So I don't know if that gives you a little bit of comfort. They're not great designers, not yet. So we had to use a lot of templates and stuff, but we started realizing that we were focusing on the wrong things, and we're starting realizing that they had this potential that was often hidden. And I think also it was more because of how we were working with them, but also because as users, we started realizing that there was this poor communication between ourselves, like the builders, but also the user and the machine. We realized that we were building tools and the expectations between the user and what the machine could actually do were totally different. So as designers, we're no longer designing interfaces just for humans with big buttons and clicky, which is, I wish we went back to that. But anyway, we're building this bridge between human intuition and machine intelligence, between humans just like getting feeling of something, and also robots that actually understand those feelings. So a relationship between both worlds, making it seamless. And here's the thing, the talk is, which is totally not anymore, but it's about the UX of AI. No, all the stuff that I put, it's not about that anymore. Anyway, but the thing here is that there's nothing new. Like I'm going to, it just sounds cooler if I say AI, UX and stuff, but it's just regular UX. So I'm going to say like, hey, how to use regular UX with these new patterns. And they're the same design principles we've always used. And at the end, it's also about like, hey, doing the stuff that we have always been doing, which is like, hey, guiding the user, simplifying inputs, and just like giving feedback to the user. The difference, well, is that these things kind of pretty smart now. And the machine is smarter, and it will take our jobs. And well, and it can also predict, it can help, and it can adapt. Way different than what we used to have, the technology behind. So the interactions now that we're building are quite different too. It's not just a dumb machine anymore. It behaves and talks like a human, for which you might think, well, that's great. It can talk like a human, so it can understand it, it can just do the job. Not really. Why? Because it can create confusion on how to interact with it. So at the end of the day, our jobs as designers is still about making these things easy to use, whether it's powered by AI or not. Okay, so really quick, I'm going to go about like how different tools are now integrated with AI. I think understanding what tool is the one that you're building, and then suddenly comes your CEO, your boss is just like, put some AI on it. So you can understand like, okay, how can we do this, right? And what is this AI going to mean in this tool? Since we're seeing more and more cool apps using this, and some are adding AI to improve their services. So it's potentially an app that already exists, has already a help service, and maybe it was already using actually AI, but it was kind of hitting, also helping with productivity. And some of them that are AI first, meaning AI is at its core of what they do. And AI enhanced apps already exist, but it's more like the AI is in the background. It's almost like invisible. You don't even notice it, but it's more for personalization, for automating different tasks, or optimizing different things that happen in the background. So you as a user, you don't actually are interacting with a robot or anything, but all of this is actually using machine learning for recommendations from Spotify, from Google Photos, when it organizes your photos and all that stuff. It's actually using, well, the little robots, not the smartest ones, but they are robots at the end. So some are changing how we work, and we create with productivity. So for example, Notion is also a tool that we were using for some time without the AI, but now it helps with generation of ideas, with summarizing documents. In context, it tells you what you can do. So it becomes more of a productivity tool. It's not just working in the background without you realizing. Grammarly improves the grammar and writing AI. And then there's AI first apps. So maybe a lot of you are already working on these kinds of tools. Like for example, ChatGPT is I suppose is the one that we realized like, wait, whoa, what? We can do this now. So in Midjourney was also AI generated artwork, and also Lummi. By the way, yeah, I should put there Lummi. Why is not Lummi there? Okay, Lummi. Missed opportunity for a commercial again. So now I want to share a quick brain dump. This is where it gets weird, the presentation. I actually started putting more and more slides, but I think it's important. It's interesting, it's scary. Hopefully you like it. This is not so much about UX, but it's really just about understanding where these things are headed. And I think it's good that we know that. And a lot of these things are coming actually from laboratories, from the people who are actually doing these things. So this is based on actually on documents from way smarter people, like people who are working on these things and actually they have infinite money, and they have infinite money and the smartest people in the world, and they're trying to get to this level of AI that is called AGI. And I'm going to talk about this, but this is just based on that. But before presenting the different levels and talking about the risks on them, I think it's good to know what the hell is AGI. AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence, basically an AI that, well, can handle a lot of different tasks, just like a human. This is not like specialized AI tools, not like what we have with translation apps or chat apps or recommendation agents, nothing nothing like that. This is about giving the robots flexibility, give them the ability to adapt to different things, and also very important, and which is where the levels that we're going to be talking about is autonomy. So mastering everything from something we're already seeing, coding. They still need our input, but hey, they're getting really good at that stuff. But also, hey, it gets to a point where it's like they're going to be cooking for us, and they can do all sorts of different things without us telling them to even do it. And it will be smart. The idea is that they get to this level where they are smarter. Imagine having someone cooking you for you, and it's smarter than any Nobel Prize winner across different fields. So math, science, engineering, and it will be able to do almost anything a skilled human can do, but 10, 100 times faster and more efficient. So there's a matrix that classifies AI based on different things, performance generally, and how it climbs on these things. Performance is just like how fast, how good it is, and generally it's just like, hey, how many tasks, how many different things can do one single agent. And here's 6 principles to guide us. Focus on what AI can do, and well, let's go with this one. Each step towards AGI brings its own risks. Okay, so I think this is the part where I want us to really think about, is the opportunities, but also about the risk. So early on, over-reliance on AI, I think we're already there. I'm already kind of there. Later stages, and this is where we get a little bit more worried, is job losses, changes in our society, and AI not aligning with us. Not aligning with what we value, what our values and what we think is good for the world. They have their own thing, and their goals are different from ours. So let's break down the 6 levels of AGI. Well, technically 5, since level 1 is just level 0, no AI. So which are a way to think of where we're headed and what are the risks. So this is about autonomy. How much control we're giving to them. The more freedom we give an AI, the more it can do. But also means more chances for things to go wrong. So that's why it's super important to design, like when we do, how humans and AI can work together. How are we going to make all these interactions? How are we going to make these things? We have a seat on the table, and we should be the ones who are actually saying, how are these things going to be integrated? So by choosing the right amount of autonomy, we can make AI safer and more effective. So level 1, level 0, no AI. This means no AI involvement, sketching with pencil and paper, typing on a text editor. At this level, well, there's no risk, at least not from the AI. And we're dealing with the usual limitations of just humans being humans. Now, level 1, and level 1, and sorry, again, just about these levels are specifically about the autonomy we give these things and the level of autonomy that they have. And level 1 is as a tool. And I think we're there. We're already just like using them this way, where AI helps with simple, repetitive tasks, but we're still in control. Humans are fully in control. So we still need designers to go there and just like put all the different controls there. And we use it for things like search engines, grammar checks, translating signs. The risks, well, is that we might lose some basic skills. Why? Because like, hey, well, the AI can do it. Why even learn how to do this thing? And why even just like dedicate myself on that thing? So some jobs could start to disappear. So AI takes over some of those simple tasks. So there's potential for disruption in some industries. Level 2, AI as a consultant. And now, AI takes on a bigger role, but only gets involved when a human calls for it. Examples include, and we're seeing in different tools, just like a document summarization, code generation, or when an AI can recommend different content. The risk is over-trusting the AIs on their accuracy. Have you done this? Where it's like sometimes you're just like lazy, and then they send you an email. It's one of those long emails, like, oh my God, I'm not gonna read that. Copy, paste, ChatGPT, tell me what this is. And then it tells you, and then you don't review it. You're just like, okay, that's what it is. Can you reply? Yes. And then you review the reply. You just send it. Well, yeah, sometimes I've done that. So there's a potential for trusting it too much with its accuracy. And also, this can also reinforce extreme views, and we've already seen it how the world is getting more and more divided. Well, suddenly these things can actually just suggest more and more of those things and just like always agree with those things that we believe in. So this is where we also start seeing the risk of manipulation. With personalized content that we think is just for us, and we overtrust it, and then, but there can be external needs or external factors on what they're actually recommending it to us. Level 3, as a collaborator, so AI actively works with us in a more interactive way. I don't know if for who here uses AI on their design work? Oh, come on, you don't use it? Are you going to be like that? No? Okay, well, a lot of you are purists. Okay, cool. So think of it as training a little collaborator that's going to help you with a specific task. There are risks. More risks. It gets to be an expert. And at this stage, AI can guide or advise us with just no input, little input. See, I was at an agency just giving this talk. We went for over 3 hours. But they were there. They were not taking any breaks or anything. We were really interested because we were talking about these things, the robots. Oh my God, they're going to take it over. So anyway, things that we have learned at Lummi while building creative tools with AI. And when I say with AI, I mean we use AI in the back end. We say, hey, little robot, can you do this? And then the little robot tells us, yeah, this is how I'm going to do it. So in the back end, and like connected to different APIs, connected to our own fine-tuned models, what we do with those things and how can help us have an output. We give them an input and then they release an output. Really simple. So to make sure we're on the same page with the machine, internally, we have built this kind of way of how to talk about the things that we need a UI or a US experience. So I put together some pillars of patterns we can use too. So I'm sharing these with you, and these are very basic. You're going to say, Pablo, just good old UX. Exactly. That's the point. It's just guides, inputs, personalization, transparency, and character. I would say that the first 3 are the most important ones. That's where I'll add more examples. But the other ones are actually quite important too, but in different levels, not so technical. And these are more about the for those who like branding, character is really cool. For those who track safety and the user experience in a more clear, transparent way, transparency is nice. It's nice for you. So let's start with guides. And this is about showing users how to interact with the robots in an effective way, which means provide a clear, actionable hints or instructions to help the user get the most out of the tool. And even though these things, and I stress this a lot, they seem like they can understand anything. Oh, they have natural language, Pablo. They can do everything, right? And you might think that as someone who is building, and also as a user, the perception is they can do anything, right? They can get anything done. But unless they're connected to the thing. So the goal here is to help people use the AI with confidently. So, and also tell them what is possible. And so there's no unexpected results. So it helps understand what it's capable of, reduce that uncertainty, that fear that you might have as a user when you're using something that apparently is too smart, and also inspire the users. Maybe they came for a specific purpose, for a specific task, or maybe they just don't know what to do. Well, inspire them to get things done. These things are generative and they can imagine a lot of things, so why not give a user a recommendation of where to start? So here's some UX patterns. Good old placeholders, good old progressive disclosure, just like step by step, telling people how things are disclosing one by one. Tooltips and hints, tutorials, and conversation starters as examples of what AI can handle, what it can actually do. So these are the pitfalls of how they can go wrong. They can be too big, just like maybe you put an instruction that is too big, like a text input placeholder just says right here. What should I write there, right? So it can be too big. It can also over-explain, like me in this presentation, overwhelming users with too much information, and also it needs to be context aware. So like whatever is going to tell you, you want to tell the user what is in the moment, what is relevant to them. Those suggestions, they need to be there. So, and also, it ignores the user. Well, you don't want that, right? So some examples, ChatGPT's starting points, maybe you have seen them. That's a type of guide to help the user get started. Also, Runway, which is a video tool, it offers you examples so you can quickly just like see what are the things that are possible to do with these tools. Perplexity, it can also, as soon as you focus, they give you suggestions. So things that are happening in the world. Actually, ChatGPT just released something very similar to this. The thing is that this Perplexity is connected to the web. So it's connected to the web. It can know the news, what is trending. So the suggestions that it gives you are really, are actually about topics that you might want to learn. And also Notion, its suggestions, the guides are also, the suggestions are based in context, they're context aware, so in the document and the page where you are. And Clause gets started with an example. Python AI Assistant has a bunch of suggested topics. Lummi, we bring different contextual suggestions based on users' behavior, what you have been asking, the different prompts that you have been using. So then we suggest other prompts that are like that. If we see that you have been asking for a lot of illustration work, maybe we just like start showing you more things that are based on illustrations. Gemini is another AI chat that also has some starting points. And Grok, Elon Musk AI thingy, has some starting points for images and text too. So those are guides. Now in inputs, let's move to inputs, in which are how we tell the AI what we want. So the user, how I interact with it, what is the things, the buttons, the sliders, whatever it is that I'm going to be using to connect with the AI. And this can be how you type something, which is the most common one, but you can also say, you can upload a document, you can take a photo. So there are different ways that you can communicate with the AI. So the idea is to give instructions to the robot easy and natural in a way that just makes sense. Which means also they need to be the right input. This is a mistake that we made at Musha when we were creating our own design tool. And it was only capable to do just landing pages, just a one-pager, And also, like the most basic landing page. It was only capable of doing that. And we're like, okay, so how do we allow users to use this tool? We just put an input. It's like, users will figure it out. Users are not dumb. Oh my God. Well, no. The thing is that if you put an input, just a text input, some people will be like, okay. And they will just write all the product requirements there about all the things that they wanted the AI to do. And then it would just poop a landing page. And it would say always, oh yeah, here's your app. And it would just be a landing page. It's like, no. So the right input. This is a common mistake that you will see whenever you get a CEO or the product manager, add some AI, and then just put a chatbot there. So that can be a mistake that we make. So good inputs should feel clear. So like the AI just gets it without making people work hard, keep it clear, make it simple, offer different options on how you can communicate with the robot, and different patterns are just like, for example, natural talk, the one that I was just saying, it's just like, you can talk naturally with this thing and it will magically understand you. Great for chatbots, but not so great for anything that actually is connected to something you want a specific task to be done. So for that, you can give them options. This is just to set rails and guide the user on just like, hey, this is what you can do, okay? So I'm just going to put this specific input so you can just tell the AI specifically what to do. So, hey, keep it simple. And also something, we keep using text, but hey, you can also use voice, you can use documents, you can also use photos. These things can understand different types of documents, and sometimes it's better to just do that instead of asking too much of the user to write a gigantic prompt. Hey, no, just here's an image. Just do it like this, So that can also be considered an input. So what to avoid? Lengthy, like this thing. Not accessible, confusing. And some examples, Lit uses voice. Notion can use a selection from a document. Claude, you can add documents and photos. In Lummi, we have the idea that you can also input images. So you put an input as an image, and then that can be used as a reference. It can also be used as a way to just change the style. So hey, this is my starting point. I want to keep the same proportions and the same layout, just change it to a different style. So then the image is an input in that case. Runway allows you to use a seed, a specific seed or a specific style, but also upload an image or a video. Pika also has different styles. Pika has redo and video input. I'm going to go and, by the way, this one. If you only see this one, this is a great example of great UX, I think. It's a tool called Descript, and it's for video editing. So what it does is you barely see a text input. All you see are buttons, and buttons that do very specific tasks, but they're connected to AI in different ways. So you as a user, you don't have to see all of that. You're just like, hey, I just need, can you just make a title of this thing? Can you just make a summary of my video? Can you just make it shorter? Those kinds of things are something that the user might have typed, but also they don't have to. Why? Because they know, as a designer, you might know with data telling you what people are actually using the app with. So I'm going to skip all of this. Personalization allows you to just say how you want the AI to work for you, for different sliders, for the content. And also, for example, some examples says ChatGPT. You can personalize your experience, telling it your mood, how you want your answers to be. Also, Perplexity allows you to just say, this is the type of answer that I want, just for mathematician, academic, make it funny. Perplexity also allows you to create an AI-powered space. That means that you can just give it all of your documents, and with that, and like for a specific company, for a specific brand, and then the output that it's going to give you is going to be based on that. So it's very personalized, and it's almost like fine-tuned to your specific needs. Also, something very important, it's giving these things a role. And that's something that you can also do in the code, but there's a specific tool from Claude that is on Workbench that allows you to access the system prompt. I don't know how many of you are old enough to have seen RoboCop. The first one, the original one, not the newer one, but RoboCop had like it would be like this. Yeah, this is my impression of RoboCop. And then killing people. But it had these prime directives: protect humans. Protect humans was always his prime directive. So it's something like that, where you say, hey, your system prompt, this is what you do. This is like above everything. This is who you are, and this is what you actually do. So a system prompt, and also Midjourney allows you to do a personalized model. So the images that I create with Midjourney are going to be very different from the ones that someone else creates, because they have different tastes. So it's very personalized to them. Pika, they have different seeds. Transparency, very important. Gonna skip it. But hey, just an example of what transparency, the worst transparency, just like the smallest font. It says like, hey, ChatGPT can make mistakes, huh? But they put it really small, but it's a little bit transparent. For example, Figma, they have content training. Did you know that if you are using this thing, it's actually training on all your designs? Not very transparent, I would say, but you can turn it off if you go deep into their settings. And OpenAI has different ways to also improve their models, but they telling you like, hey, we're using your data, so you can turn it off if you want to. So I would say those are examples of not transparency. These things should be more transparent. Character is all about giving the AI a personality. Making it feel personal is more like about the brand. It reflects the brand. If it's joyful, if it's humorous, if it is just serious, like, hey, however the brand is, the AI can have that personality too. So hey, it's a way for all of you brand designers or brand people, this is your opportunity to shine. But also for designers, it's just like, hey, the visuals should match also the brand, right? And the visuals and how it talks, the tone and voice of this thing should also match how you want it to the output to be of the company. Okay, I'm going to skip all of this, and I'm going to go to building just, oh, 0. Hey, let's do this quick, okay? Well, let's apply all these things. We're going to build something called the Caginator, and it's an app that has Nicolas Cage's personality as a robot, but it does different tasks, and it has one that is multi-caged, the face stuff, and Dictionary, which is a Cage-style message translator, okay? So any fans of Nicolas Cage? No? 2 people, okay. Nicolas Cage is an actor. So let's start with Nicolas Cage, and I love him. I don't know. He's really good, actually. But oh my God, he has done really terrible movies. No, that's not true. Amazing movies. So it's pretty basic. Get started. This is the Caginator. Kind of boring, huh? So let's just add a little bit of personality so the user understands, like, hey, this is about the Caginator, so let's get on Cage. And also the input says, like, message the Caginator, ask Nick for a pep talk. Okay, now let's add a little bit of transparency. The user knows and understands what is happening, so let's add a little bit of a message. Let's take a note from ChatGPT and say, hey, Nicolas Cage is perfect, okay? But, but the Caginator sometimes can make mistakes. Now, let's add the ability to personalize some details and make the experience yours truly. So we have some settings there. You turn them on just to get the output really great. The intensity of how much Cage do you want. Also, maybe you want the output to be Nicolas Cage, but without a shirt. You know, that will motivate you a little bit more, right? Also, Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman. So, in a different world it happened, but here we can make it a reality. Just turn it on, and then Superman Nicolas Cage can come and give you something, right? So then you personalize your experience. From there, we go, we go to just like, giving some details of how to get started to the user. So we give them just some starting points to inspire them. Also, we give them some history of all the conversations that have been happening, how they have been used, what they have been learning, the app has been learning about these things. I think that's an opportunity to be more transparent. And also, and let's say that you start using this thing, you start chatting with it, it's like, hey, I need some help. So it gives you an output, and then it gives you some options to change the type of output you want. You want it more subtle, you want it more intense. So then from there, you give the user some options to also, why? Because these things are generative, so you can have multiple processes at the same time happening for the same answer, so you can give the user the output that they actually will prefer. So let's say that I prefer the full Nicolas Cage one, and then from there, a different type of input that I want is just give it a document so it understands more things. Instead of typing it over and just explaining everything, maybe I just already have a wiki page, maybe I have a product page that I already want to give this thing so it understands. So then I add it, I add some images, and then face off. I'm going to go real quick. Hey, let's make it better. Okay, get face off. And then we also give some inputs to the user so they can understand the different styles that they can use, some starting points. Also, like, I upload my image. This was AI generated, but it looks much better than me in real life. But you start understanding it's just a basic upload, right? But you can have some settings on the style and the type of output that you want. Maybe I do want it to be also shirtless. You can turn it on if you want to. Not for this one, let's keep it PG. Okay, different styles, different modifiers, some transparency telling you what is happening behind. And then after that, we go into seeing the output. So this is the output. And I think it's really important, at least with generative AI models, is just giving the user some options. So they think, they still have some control. So we give them some options. Maybe we allow them to generate more Nicolas Cage ones and also change their outputs differently and just keep iterating. And to be continued. And the future, oh my God, so many slides about this. But thank you so much. Gracias.